Today's the day the new car arrives. It should be here in about 5-10 minutes time, so we'll get outside, wait for its arrival, and yeah, show you what I bought. I've bagged myself a Ford Fiesta ST 150. Now looking at the photos from the car crash auction website, it doesn't actually look that bad. It is a category N, but looking at the photos, it's literally just cosmetic. Like the bumper's hanging off a little bit, trims here and there, so I'm not 100% sure why it's a category N, but I'm sure we'll find out anyway. This was bought as a non-runner, but at the salvage auction, when it got loaded onto the low loader, the forklift truck actually put a hole in the fuel tank. So it was already a non-runner, and now it has a gaping hole in the fuel tank apparently. I haven't seen it myself. I won't be able to see it until we get it jacked up, have a look underneath, and see what the actual damage is. But the good thing is I have actually got another fuel tank which has already arrived, which was £100 off eBay. It's got all the pipes on it. Literally just need to take the clips off the old one, put the new one in, fill it with fuel, and hopefully it starts. But I think we're going to try and start it anyway once I put a new battery on, because one, the windows are wide open, electric window, can't put it up without any power. So I'm going to fit the new battery I've already got, get the window up, and I'll try and start it. Hopefully it'll crank. If it doesn't crank, then it could be a coil pack issue, it could be a starter motor issue, so we'll see. But yeah, first point of call is let's get that new battery on and see if it starts.
Can I have a conversation with you?
Of course you can. So I've literally just got a rollicking off one of my neighbours. So a little bit of background for you. The neighbours in front of me, well you can't see now because the bonnet's up, but those houses there, they've been complaining to the housing development about me running a business. Now this car is parked out of the way, it's not parked in anybody's spot, but yeah, she's had an absolute go at me right now. So she's saying that she's going to report me to the police, even though the Audi's parked on a private driveway now. This car obviously is going to get worked on, but what I'll do is I'll just move this car onto my driveway, and then they can't take the car because it's on private land. So yeah, the sooner I find a garage the better. But yeah, I have some unhappy neighbours, sad people if I'm honest with you. I really want to swear but I'm not gonna. But yeah, basically what she just said is, see that's her car there. She's like, there's no reason why I can't park my car here. I just said to her, man, don't bother me, park your car wherever you want, love. So yeah, that was a nice, interesting conversation. I had to bite my tongue, put it that way, but to be fair to her, she's the only neighbour that's actually said something to my face. The rest of them have just been emailing the housing development complaining about me. She said that another neighbour's been taking photos, and apparently she wants me to get charged for the muck that's underneath this car from where the Audi was. Now I've got a Karcher jet washer. I can just jet wash it, clean it up, it'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, that was a fun conversation. But anyway, the battery's on, we've got power. Now, whether it'll start or not, I do not know. Because, obviously, the fuel tank. Let's see if I can focus a bit. Anyway. Right, hopefully it's out of gear. It started. Well. I bought it as a non-runner. All I've done is change the battery, started straight away. I'm not going to leave it running long though. Yeah, the fuel's literally empty though. Empty. I'm not going to leave it running long, just in case there's no oil in it. But yeah, we'll check the oil now. But yeah, happy days. Start first time. It's the next day and we're going to tackle the fuel tank on this car. So we're going to get the back of it jacked up, get it on the axle stands, get underneath. There's like 3 bolts I think, or screws holding in like the straps for the fuel tank, and then there's a few obviously hoses and a couple of switches as well. But I think what I'll have to do is take the back bench out, undo the fuel pump, take that out, and then I'll get underneath the car and then start taking the actual fuel tank, lowering it down, and we'll get the new one in place and stick some fuel in it. Hopefully we'll do it all right, there's no leaks, and the car starts and it pumps the fuel to the engine, exactly what it's supposed to do. So yeah, let's crack straight onto it. So going to take this back seat out somehow. I thought it might just unclip, but unless you have to undo them. Ah, looks like you have to undo them. Now, in theory, this should just lift up, and there's on like some little hinges at the bottom, but it's not lifting up. So what I'm going to do is undo the hinges and take the actual bench out. It's just going to be a lot easier. So we're just going to get a star Torx bit, undo that. I should have got a pot for the screws in here, but there's one out. I'm just going to put it in the little door card here, so I know where they are. And then same on the other side. Now this car is covered in muck. There's actually a bit of damp on the back of the driver's seat as well. There we go. Shove you in there. Put you on the driver's seat. Now, in theory, I should be able to get this out. I don't know what's stopping it. Oh, there we go. Whew. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of metal there which was stopping it getting out, so let's just slide that out and rest it against the car. Now, the fuel pump is not there. What the hell is that? I thought the fuel pump would have been underneath here. Normally when you take this carpet out, the fuel filter is like underneath here, and it's like a circle thing, but on this car it's not. So I'm wondering if it's behind there. Oh, I've taken the bench out now, and I saw some kiddie treats. Let's just shove that back down. Oh, we've got some water leaking down there. Oh, brilliant. Oh. Oops. So I wonder if it's behind. Oh, I can't open the boot until I connect the battery back up. Battery's connected. Oh. Now, the tow driver took everything out, so we could get to the tow eye. You're going to see rust under here. Well, the fuel tank's not under here, is it? Fuel pump, sorry. No. So I wonder if it doesn't have one in the top of it. I just realised, why don't I just check the fuel tank I bought to see if it's got a fuel pump in the top of it. Another rookie mistake, but anyway, I do want to show you this. So, I noticed when I moved the car from over there to here, the steering was really, really heavy, so I was like, oh, maybe it's got no power steering fluid. Well, I'm right, it doesn't have any power steering fluid, but also, so here's a power steering reservoir. Nada. I don't know if you can see coolant tank either. Absolutely zilch in there too a little bit, so we need to top that up. But also, I don't know if you can see down there or not. You can see there, that is the pulley for the power steering pump. There's no belt on it, so there's no auxiliary belt on this car, so that obviously explains why the power steering was really heavy. So it's another thing we need to order. Luckily the parts quite cheap on this car, so yeah, we need an auxiliary belt. and some coolant and some power steering fluid. But first of all, fuel tank, and then we'll just tick off the list. But what I'm doing is I've listened to you guys and obviously learned from my mistakes with the Audi TT, is let's get the car running, working properly, then start the modifications. On the topic of modifications, I want your guys' inputs of why I do this car. So my thoughts are, do we turn it into a track ready car? Take the back seats out, put some bucket seats in. Do we fix it up, make it a clean example of what it originally is, keep the original wheels, just get them refurbed, get the centre caps, or whatever you guys think. So please comment, feel the need to just put in as much effort as you want. Suggestions, just fire them away, and we'll decide what we're going to do with this car, but I want your guys' inputs. But anyway, back to the build. Now the car's jacked up, we've got full access to see this fuel tank, and actually there's loads of room back here. But also what I've noticed, these tyres are literally brand new. Look at the thread on them. Tread. Be a shame to actually not use those tyres, so hopefully we can reuse those tyres on some new wheels, or if we go down the route of refurbing these, then I'm only going to need 2 new front tyres. Happy days. But anyway, here's the fuel tank. So we've got 2 pipes going up here. They're both going to the filler neck where you refuel at your petrol station, and then you've got this electrical cable here which is hanging down. Same with this one. Luckily it's not damaged. All I need to do is get a screw, put it back in that hole there, and we should be good to go. But you can see the damage there. So see this big slit? That's where the forklift has put his fork, and it's just slid a hole straight in the tank. So we've got to undo these straps here. There's 1 that side and then 2 on the other side, which are just underneath there. But we've got the axle stands right underneath the rear axle, so we're nice and safe. So yeah, let's crack straight to it by getting these off. Hopefully I'm not going to get absolutely caked in fuel, but I'm going to put a load of rags down anyway, just so we're nice and safe. Oh, can't wait to get a garage. Just so you know, in traditional UK fashion, it is drizzling now, so my legs are getting piss wet through. So I'm just going to undo this Jubilee clip on this one. So while I undo these Jubilee clips for the hoses that go to the filler neck and the straps at the back of the fuel tank, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel, liked the videos, commented them. It honestly means the absolute world. So thank you so much. It's nearly out. It's nearly out. It's got a lot of fuel in as well. A lot more than I thought it would. We're out. We're out. Oh. That was not the easiest to do. Yeah, you can hear all the fuel in there. Luckily there's not enough to spill out. The good thing is both fuel tanks are the same. Oh, that's good news then. So what I need to do is transfer this fuel pump over to this one, then connect these back up when it's kind of underneath the car, and then I can connect everything else back up. Like, don't think there was anything on this. I think that's a breather, but there's one there, which obviously is that one. Don't need to change that because that's already on there. And then I've got some new Jubilee clips of these. But as you can tell, it's raining at the moment. Good old England there, good old England. Well, I say rain, it's drizzling. It's like that fine rain that gets you absolutely piss wet through. So yeah, I'm going to wait for the rain to stop a little bit and then carry on. Oh, what a nightmare, what a nightmare. Now that it's finally stopped raining, it's time to change this fuel pump over from the old tank to the new tank. So let's get straight to it. So first thing I'm going to do is knock this off, so I think I just need to... There we go. Oh, God, that's tight. Take that off. Now, before I do anything else, I'm just going to try and clean some of this muck up around it. Just so it's nice and clean for when it goes back on the new tank. This should just lift off, I'm guessing. Might just have to prise underneath it. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh. So this is the fuel pump and also the leveler. So obviously when I put fuel in the tank, this will rise up. I'll say I've got a full tank. I'll say obviously I've got a low tank or empty tank. So let's move this over to the new one. And place this in exactly the same position. Down there. With how easy this fuel pump came out of the old tank, I thought this is going to slip straight in, nice and easy, just push it straight in, but no, of course it didn't. It has a nice tight seal around the edge, so obviously this is not easy enough just to push straight in. So I had to manipulate it a little bit by taking the seal off the fuel pump, putting it in position first, and then slotting the fuel pump in that way. Then, hey presto, it was nice and sealed, and I could screw the screw cap back on. Now that fuel pump is all in and in the new tank. I think what we need to do is take those pipes off the filler neck, and then at least when this one lines up, it'll just go straight in then. So we'll try wiggle them off, and then yeah, we'll get this lined up, back up, all connections onto it, and then we'll tighten up those brackets. And then hey presto, turn the car on, well, put some fuel in, then turn the car on, and see if it's all working fine. So while I've got the fuel tank out, I think it's worth me putting a new fuel filter on anyway. As you can see, if I just put it underneath, fuel filter is right here. So I think, well, it's only connection there, push connection there, and it pops out. I think it's worthwhile just changing that while we're here. We've got this big empty space. Oh, right, slide this back into the way we did it last time. So we'll see. Putting this new fuel tank in, I'm literally just going to do the reverse order of how I took the old one out. So I'm going to connect the electrical connectors up for the fuel pump, all the fuel pipes, and the hoses that go up to the filler neck, and then finally the 3 straps that haul the fuel tank to the actual car. Nice and easy. There's the fuel tank all done. So we've got these new hoses on, new clip. I didn't have a big enough clip, so I had to use the existing one. That's all tight. That's all tight. That's connected back up. The bracket under there, the strap, that's all done. All the fuel lines are on, and the fuel pump is plugged in. All that's left to do, put some fuel in the car, connect the battery back up, and then give it a start. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier than it actually was, but you know what, actually first time changing a fuel tank, it wasn't actually that bad, and I didn't have to remove anything else other than the actual straps for the fuel tank. I can imagine like a 4-wheel drive car or anything like that, you'd have to remove like prop shafts and stuff like that. So luckily picked an easy car to do a fuel tank change on. So yeah, let's fill it up. Right, time to fill up the car. So this key is also broken. Oh god, there we go. Yeah, the key, I mean, there's no buttons on it and it keeps falling apart, so I've got to be careful. So let's fill it with fuel. Oh. This is where it inserts some elevator music now. Moment of truth. Fit the new fuel tank, filled it with fuel. Let's see if it actually starts. I don't know if you need to like bleed the fuel filter on these. Is it going to take a bit of time to start? We'll see. Oh, there goes the key again. That's the remains of the key. Right. It's not starting. Why is it not starting? Is it not starting because basically, like I've shown you, there's no auxiliary belt, so every time I've been starting it, the battery hasn't been charging. So is the battery a little bit flat? Is that why it's not starting? Or do I need to wait for the fuel to prime? But it's not even cranking actually. No, nothing at all. No. So I've put a booster on the battery. Hopefully that is enough to get it started. So yeah, let's crack straight on. Hopefully get enough boost to charge it. Not to charge it, to start it. Oh. Nothing at all. Still nothing. Oh, no, it tried to start then. Maybe I have to let the fuel prime a bit. But it should still crank even if there's no fuel, shouldn't there? It should still crank over. No, I don't think I have to put the clutch down on this. No. It's trying. Let's give it a bit more, leave it for a bit, charge. So while the Fiesta's charging, this is the perfect time for me to do a quick diagnostic on the TT. The engine management light flagged up yesterday, so I think it's a perfect time to try out this new OBD2 diagnostic tester from TOPDON. So thank you for the guys at TOPDON for sending me this. This is perfect for any make or model car you have. You can run a diagnostic, you can do coding on there. All you have to do is take the device out of its box. Nice little device. Plug it into the OBD port, which is somewhere under here in this car. Makes a nice little beep when it's in. And then we'll fire up the app. So the app has successfully read the correct VIN number on the car. I'm just going to press confirm. Audi TT, and then OK. Now it's basically going to run a diagnostic once it's fully communicated to the car's ECU. Once it's done that, I'm going to press auto scan and then scan the full car. So now at the moment it's reading the engine control module, then it'll move on to the transmission control module, brakes, aircon, airbag, dashboard. Absolutely everything on this car is going to get scanned. It'll throw up any fault codes, and then we can either clear them and actually diagnose what the issue is. If it's something serious, then obviously I'm going to have to look at fixing it. At the moment we've got 15 faults on the ECM, which is the engine control module. Now it's fully read the car, 100% complete. So we'll click engine control module. 15 faults on this. This will be interesting because this is obviously why the engine management light came on yesterday. So we will see what the issue is. So we'll go read DTCs. So we can see there's bank 1 mixture adaptation system 2 lean. That could be to do with the intake, the induction kit I put on it. It could be to do with that. You've got idle control RPM higher than expected, clutch brakes switch malfunction, connection charger throttle valve pressure drop intermittent, power supply terminal 30 voltage too low, O2 sensor, bank 1, bank 2, high voltage, intermittent. That's to do with the lambda sensor, I think, on the exhaust. What we're going to do is press clear. Yes, clear those faults. And hopefully the engine management light will go off. Now it says no trouble codes. So if yourself or a friend or family member obviously have a car and they want to be able to diagnose issues or code things into the car, then value for money, I would highly recommend TOPDON. There's going to be a link in the description below, and also appearing on the screen right now is a discount code to get yourself some little bit of money off this. So thank you so much TOPDON for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the Fiesta. I'm hoping it's got enough charge in it so we can start it. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Nothing at all. And why would that happen after changing the fuel tank? Everything's plugged in. There's only one electrical connector, well 2, but they're both plugged in. All the fuel lines are plugged back in properly. Why is it not starting? The only thing I can think of is I'm gonna have to put jump leads on and see if it'll jump start basically. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, please like, please comment, please share, and I'll catch you on the next one.